It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the New Orleans Pelicans. So for New Orleans, their last game, a win against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Facing an excellent team on hostile ground, they'll need to play a complete game, start to finish. We'll see if they can pull off the upset. And tonight, get ready for some highlights. 2 lightning-quick, high-flying clubs. Kenny, when you have teams as athletic as these, how can one side carve out an advantage?
Poise. That's it. You want to be athletic, but you also want to be level-headed. You got to have a combination of the two. You got to execute your plays, and you just don't rely on your physical gifts because that could be detrimental.
And not only that, A&B, FAE.
What's that?
Avoid mistakes, be fast and efficient.
Wow. FMB.
Where do you come up with that?
FAE?
A&B, FAE.
Okay.
Avoid mistakes,
Okay.
be fast and efficient.
God, man, that's quick and fast and
It's
hurry.
going to be an exciting matchup. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
You're the first person who's ever said that.
AMB, FAE.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Pelicans come into a Western Conference contest in this game. We've got an action-packed Saturday night of NBA action for you. Thanks for joining us. Along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. The Timberwolves hoping to give a strong showing here for their home crowd. They're one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA right now. No question, they've won 7 of their last 8.
Well, it's always nice to come home. You're comfortable, you're excited, and certainly you have the fans there looking for you to bring your best basketball and get a win. And oftentimes, your fans can energize you when you're in your home building.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, you know, sometimes it can be a problem when you have as much talent as the Timberwolves do on their team. And it's a lot of offensive talent as well. So are there enough touches for everybody? Now, Karl Anthony Towns says yes. He says, no matter what, we are all going to eat. There is enough food on the table for all of us. Kevin, this is always a problem for you, but we're going to let you eat first.
All right, D, not a problem. I ordered more than enough for all of us. In what should be an exciting game to watch, 2 of the most athletic teams in the league. Doris, what are the keys in this one?
Well, you'd think it would be about the pace, but to me, when there's this level of athletic ability, it's about the execution and patience on offense, and certainly you've got to sprint back in transition defense.
Tip-off goes to New Orleans. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Rajon Rondo is out there with Holiday, and it's Liggins in at the 3. Now here is Davis. Here's Cousins. He can't get that one to fall. Towns with the defensive effort. T kicks to Wiggins. It's stolen by Davis. And now running up the court, Liggins pushing it up. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Boy, what great speed he's got, Greg. Just phenomenal work getting all the way to the cup in transition.
Now here's Towns. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Boston.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
Yeah, that's the way you play defense. Anticipated the hop step, beat him to the spot, and able to get the call.
The Minnesota Timberwolves come into this one after the win against the Celtics in Boston.
And on the road, their perimeter shooting really helped to kind of keep the crowd out of the game.
No, I completely agree. They completely took the crowd out of it. They were scorching hot from the perimeter all night long.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. Wiggins. Oh, wow.
Oh, the ease with which he elevates Wiggins with a highlight move that time.
And that last replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleashed chaos moment. Rondo kicks to Wiggins. There's the pick. And Holiday has it in the corner over Butler. The shot by Holiday, no good.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Now here's Butler. 17 points for him last game against Boston.
Yeah, don't forget how great he was drawing contact and getting himself to the free throw line. Picked up a ton of easy points there.
Here's Liggins. The kick out to Holiday. New Orleans getting another chance here. Davis on the follow.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
And Davis sends it back, and they'll keep possession. Here's Cousins, and it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Cousins has got 5.
And in 2015, Cousins added that three-pointer to his game. Now he can do it all offensively.
Now here's Teague. He had 13 points in the win against the Celtics in Boston.
I thought his physicality was crucial too. You know, he kept the defense on their toes and repeatedly got to the free throw line.
Now here's Rondo. 7-point differential. Liggins, the pass to Davis. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Towns a screen on Rondo. Shot to stop the run, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
Jeff Teague has deceptive strength, effortlessly sinking the shot despite taking the hit.
And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position, and you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
Free throw good, Teague. And Jeff Teague grew up in Indianapolis, a Pacers fan. He actually expected them to draft him back in 2009.
What a journey, though. He expected to be picked by them, but goes 19th to Atlanta. But after 7 years, finally ends up with his Pacers. Now moving on to Minnesota, playing alongside the great Jimmy Butler and the rest of that young team. Let's see what happens here.
Cousins, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
What's up?
And that one falls for Cousins. And Doris, as many NBA teams are doing, the Minnesota Timberwolves now have their own G League affiliate.
Well, and to me, this is a smart move by the organization, Kev, because it gives them a lot of flexibility in how they develop players. It's a very useful tool given their young talent. Only positives have come from teams purchasing G League affiliates.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
You know, that's why we say move without the basketball. You'll be rewarded.
Free throw good, Wiggins. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Boy, that's terrific vision on the part of Butler. Knows the offense is not created in a vacuum, keeps the teammates involved, always puts a smile on their face.
Gibson dishes to Wiggins. The pass to Towns. Shot clock at 6. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's his first foul.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Pelicans leading by 6. Davis with a screen on Butler. Here's Holiday, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Looking at the last game for the New Orleans Pelicans, it was a win against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Holiday against Butler. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, this is where Butler loves to get to work. Just challenges the heart of this defense.
Screen by Cousins. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And boy, are they attacking the paint. And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Minnesota making a switch here. Bielitsa's checked in.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw, no good for Holiday. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
Here's Davis. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. No good there off the double clutch. Now here's Wiggins. Not a lot of room. There's the feed to Butler. And he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
Well, that's the level of tenacity that Jimmy Butler brings to the game. Finishes through contact as well as anyone, maybe short of LeBron James.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Rose, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And then for New Orleans, Mirotic comes in for DeAndre Liggins. And Moore subbed in for Rajon Rondo. The free throw drops for Butler. And about halfway through the season, some teams at the bottom, Doris, they're struggling. So my question to you is, at what point do you suddenly realize, wow, we are truly in rebuild mode?
Well, this is a fascinating part of the NBA at this point. A lot of discussion about super teams, a lot of discussion amongst general managers that we're playing for second. Is that something we want to do? And I think this is an issue the NBA and the collective bargaining agreement is going to have to address long term. There was no cap smoothing, and therefore there was that great influx of money that contributed to the super teams. Can the collective bargaining agreement between the league and the players in the long run afford us some measure of balance in the NBA? It's important, I think, that each organization believe if they're managed correctly, they have a chance for a championship. Well, he just keeps rolling right now. What a terrific quarter for him on the offensive end.
There's a screen, and it's Rose penetrating, shoots it. A three-pointer, Wiggins, No good on that one. And New Orleans will come the other way. Their last encounter was in New Orleans.
A huge margin of victory for them when these two teams squared off last, and they got scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, I think when your bench puts up that kind of productivity, it makes your offense so much more difficult to defend. It's a key element in their last win.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end.
Now here's Rose. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Butler. Shoots over Mirotic. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Kicks it to Holiday. Davis setting the pick for Holiday. High arcing shot. Here's Mirotic. Kept alive. Here's Davis. And the rejection by Towns. Butler against Moore. Wiggins kicks to Butler. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And that's now 9 points for Jimmy Butler. Pelicans leading by 5. Outside Holiday. That shot no good. Some solid defense from Butler.
Boy, what a tough night. Imagine what their lead would be if he were having a better night from the field.
Got that one up quick. Bielitsa's got his first bucket in this one. New Orleans gone just 1 of 4 from 3-point range here in the first. There's the screen. Screen by Cousins. Here's Mirotic. And again, no good by New Orleans. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting an impressive 60% early. Towns, the screen. Rose passes to Towns. Rose attacking. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Well, that's about effort, carving space for the interior look. And one attribute we'll always talk about with Rose is the heart that he plays with.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And how about that bench? I mean, you got to give it up for that second unit. They really sparked that victory.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt, Greg, that the guys off the bench stepped up and provided the necessary spark.
Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Minnesota with the ball, following the score by New Orleans. Rose kicks to Zhang. Clock at 6, and it's out of bounds to the Pelicans. And where the shots been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and 3-point shot attempts so far for the Timberwolves.
And even when the deep three has been there, they've stayed away from it. They're working hard to get shots from close range, resisting that urge to get too loose with their shot selection.
Moore outside. Mirotic the screen. Moore dishes to Clark. Ball stolen. Fires top of the key. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
He kicks it to Moore. Mirotic the screen. 5 on the clock. Back to Clark. This one for 3. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And very little defense here to start the game.
Boy, both teams rolling right now on the offensive end. We got a little barn burner cooking.
Now here's Rose. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. And another shot. Bielitsa with the bucket. Bielitsa's got his second bucket of the night.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Moore against Rose. With the floater. No good from Moore. Timberwolves trail by 4. Rose kicks to Crawford. Pass to Patton. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And, Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
And that one misses. New Orleans gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. They get the rebound. Mirotic. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Well, you better be more physical on the glass because they wanted that rebound more than them, plain and simple.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And Rose wide open. He shoots. Sinks the triple. Rose has got 5 now.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Here's Moore. Puts up a 3. DeMarcus Cousins, he's been the guy making things happen for New Orleans. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back right after this. Well, we know what Derrick Rose has been through, the injuries, the expectations. And we asked him how he's dealing with all of it.
I got a clear mind when I play. I can't think about the past. I can't think about if I'm going to hurt myself, if I move the wrong way. When I'm out there, I have a free mind. I have no expectations on myself. I just know that I prepare myself well. There's no pressure.
Well, and Rose says no pressure, but I have to feel like there's at least a little bit, guys, of pressure to get back to where he was.
Yeah, I mean, league MVP in 11, once considered a cornerstone for the NBA's youth movement. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is does he have the heart and drive?
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Guys, what stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, you really like the activity on the defensive end. Outstanding jumping into passing lanes and coming up with steals.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, we've got Patton. Crawford out there with Rose. Then it's Gorgie Day. And it's Bialica in at the 3 slot.
No, Kevin, no one's ever questioned his court vision. Rose playing unselfish basketball, being the leader this team needs him to be.
Here's Clark. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Moore with the steal. Steps back and shoots off the left rim and out.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
Now here's Rose. He has 5. Pass to Patton. Mirotic grabs the miss. The Pelicans trail. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. I guess I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. Here's Crawford. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 3 assists in the game. The Pelicans have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Here's the screen. Here's Moore. And no good that time. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Rose against Moore. Pass to Patton. Back to Bjelica. Shoots a 3. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Miller throws it down hard.
And racing up the court, you have a number of options and a great decision there.
I love how he took the initiative, right? You took charge of the opportunity and made the right decision.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Taj Gibson's checked in for Patton. And it's Teague in for Derrick Rose. DeAndre Liggins, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Rondo comes in for each one more.
1 shot.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. Doors have talked about the evolution of the specialist, the pure 3-and-D guy, for example, who in that category are some of the best in your opinion.
Well, I'm so happy that Klay Thompson has evolved from a guy who believed coming into the NBA that he would strictly be a 3-and-D guy to a much more versatile scorer. But in today's iteration, I would have to say Danny Green won a championship for the San Antonio Spurs, doing nothing but absorbing the biggest threat on the offensive end for the opponent and then being able to make huge threes at timely opportunities. Patrick Beverley, another guy grinding it out, increasingly making shots, and of course tenacious on-ball defender.
And he knocks down the first one. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
And so Jamal Crawford nails both of them.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Rondo passes to Clark. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Offensive rebound. Shots good by Miller.
I'll tell you, this guy does some tough work on the glass. Battles as hard as anybody for those second chance opportunities.
Crawford dishes to Gibson. Teague a screen on Miller. Rondo against Teague. It's hauled in by Diallo. New Orleans in the lead. And now the Pelicans on the break. Miller with the ball.
I think you could see early on that he was really with a rhythm and flow tonight, and now he's really starting to take off.
Outside Teague. The dish to Crawford. Jang a screen. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
Diallo, no good. The Timberwolves have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Rajon Rondo. Putting up about 10 points a night, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And this is the kind of strong, steady play you like to see. He's earning his keep and helping them win games.
I think they need more consistency from him, and they're getting it. Look for this to continue. I love it.
Now, here is Miller. 9 points in the game so far. The pass to Diallo. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Crawford kicks to Bjelica. Jang, the pass to Bjelica. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Bjelica's got 6.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That's his first foul. Some changes for Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Gorgui Dieng. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Bielitsa. And it's Butler in for Jamal Crawford. New Orleans also making some changes. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Diallo. Anthony Davis comes in for Darius Miller. And it's Drew Holiday in for Ian Clark. Now here's Rondo. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And Cousins gets it to go.
And Cousins makes scoring look effortless. A super talented center who quickly can fill it up.
Rondo against T. Here's Towns. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Cousins has got his third rebound tonight. Scooped up, and Butler sends it back.
Boy, though, he'll never be a blocks leader. Butler has the size and hops to do more of this.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
Pelicans shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And he makes the first. And Doris, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves debuted their rebrand plans for this season.
Well, it was the right time, I think, to keep the logo fresh, and the team did a great job. You feel as if this will be the constant look for what is a new era in Minnesota basketball.
And he makes both free throws.
I tell you, as good as he is at the line, it allows him to invite contact when he's down low.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Stolen by Holiday. Rondo against T. Rondo kicks to Davis. And the rejection by Towns.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Karl Anthony Towns.
What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. 3rd in rebounding, 10th in scoring, and he provides that deterrent around the rim, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in blocks per game.
And as you said, one of the league's top 3 rebounders. He has an instinct for how the shot's going to come off that rim. That's special. And the want-to corral it. And the first one drops. You have a number of young teams in the league, Doris, with a lot of talent, but not many wins, still in the process of learning how to win. What can a coach do to keep them confident and inspire them through the tough times, the growing pains?
You know, Kev, I think one thing you always hear coaches talk about is the process, and you can't skip steps. And so I think if you throw yourself into trying to get better every single day, and I would say look no further than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who started their careers on an Oklahoma City team that barely broke double-digit wins in the NBA, but both were diligent, both kept to the course, and both continued to work hard. And now you've got 2 guys who really are MVP level kind of guys.
And don't you see the stair step too for a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who every year picks up something different to do to enhance his overall game?
You know, that's a great point. The Spurs would tell you they built his game brick by brick.
And we've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. You take a look at the Timberwolves. They're sitting pretty, 2nd place, and looking to take the top spot. And, of course, New Orleans, 7.5 games behind.
And I think for New Orleans, they've never been able to take that next step this season and really break away from the pack.
Yeah, I think if that next step was coming, it would have happened by now. They can't be worried about could-haves and should-haves. They need to be focused 100% on the push for the playoffs.
Here's Liggins after the made shot from Jeff T. Cousins, no one around him. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Here's Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, you think the body up to Wiggins will throw him off. It doesn't help at all.
Here's Liggins, covered by Wiggins. Liggins dishes to Cousins. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Well, there's no doubt this guy's on a hot streak right now. That's why he keeps getting the ball in this one. They're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand.
Here's Towns. Oh, good on the triple. New Orleans leading by 8. Outside Rondo. Davis setting the pick for Rondo. Here's Liggins, covered by Wiggins. 4 on the clock. Shot left block, and Gibson sends it back.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now here's Rondo. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Nice work there coming off the screen. And the Pelicans lead by 8.
And when you're open, Rondo finds you. Always has his head on a swivel.
T kicks to Butler. Dishes it to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And that one's good. Wiggins.
No, tremendous vision for a big man. One reason teams are reluctant to run an extra guy at Cat.
Feeds to Liggins. Back to Holiday from 11 feet away. Here's Davis. But they get it back.
Wow, just getting all the luck right now, it seems. Good bounce.
Teague against Rondo. He dishes it to Davis. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. That's 12 points for Davis.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it. And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And Holiday has it in the corner. Davis sets a screen. Holiday, the pass to Davis. It's a hand on it. It's rebounded by Towns. Timberwolves trail by 7. The kick outside to Butler. He feeds it to Towns. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Doris, when you watch Towns on the court, he's as large as advertised on paper, but moves and plays much more like a guard. It's something that you see more and more in today's NBA, and it seems like he's leading the charge.
No, agreed, Kev. This guy has the ability to handle the basketball like a guard, and that allows him to create separation with the bounce. He can hit step-back jump shots, can spread the floor. A lot to like about his offensive arsenal.
First one falls for him.
Well, that's a plus to Towns' game, right? He was a great free throw shooter in college, and that's carried over.
Patton, he's checked in for Minnesota. Rose comes in for Teague. And then for New Orleans, Mirotic is checked in for DeAndre Liggins. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Rajon Rondo. And Towns drops them both. Doris, you were born in New York, became the first female analyst to ever call a Knicks game. Talk about the emotions that night, having traveled that incredible journey.
You know, Kev, it was both magical and nerve-wracking. You know, I grew up a Knicks fan when there was a healthy Bernard King, and the league had absolutely nothing for him when he was doing work on the low post. Hubie Brown was an idol of mine. But it was also nerve-wracking to be the first woman to sit in Clyde Frazier's seat. It was sort of awe-inspiring and a ton of fun.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Mirotic dishes to Cousins. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Cousins has got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, this is the classic hot hand, right? If he can keep it up, their lead will be safe.
Rose kicks to Wiggins. They set the pick. Outside Rose. And not sure what he was thinking there.
And they continue to control the glass.
Mirotic has a wide open look. Offline with his 3.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Rose, the shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 4 assists now tonight.
And Butler, kind of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? I mean, more than just a scorer, a very capable passer as well.
Now here is Holiday. He's coming off a 19-point game against Utah. And stolen by Wiggins. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Patton. Up and in on the layup.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Mirotic sets the screen for Holiday. Right side Davis. Shot on the wing. Good on the bucket. Davis has got 14.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
And so we conclude the first half. Pelicans ahead. They lead by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. Focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking these real.
It starts with a man-on-man challenge. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. It was DeMarcus Cousins who got hot in the first. He ended up with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 block. Kenny, your thoughts? How the Pelicans are playing?
Guess it's time to boogie on down. You can't guard a guy that big and talented, both in the post as well as beyond the arc. Main thing, though, Cousins kept his emotions under control in the first half, and that allowed his game to rise to the top.
How about you, Shaq? What'd you think about Minnesota?
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
That's it for now, as the second half's just about ready to go.
We come back to Minnesota now with a striking look at the 10th Avenue Bridge, downtown Minneapolis, off in the distance. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort down low.
Well, it's his specialty. There are certain guys who can dominate a half or even an entire game by generating second chances.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Timberwolves trail by 6. So for New Orleans right now, the bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Rajon Rondo is out there with Holiday, and it's Liggins in at the 3 slot. Towns, the pass to Butler. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. And that's 13 points for Jimmy Butler.
Wow, very close to a potential and one. Butler converting through contact.
The feed to Liggins. A baseline J. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
T kicks to Towns. They set the pick. Shoots over Cousins. Towns, no luck.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
Rondo kicks to Cousins. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything.
Well, there's that in-between game, right? Wiggins silky smooth from the start.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
Here's T, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Towns kicks to Gibson. Teague against Rondo. And the rejection by Cousins.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with Cousins around. His shot blocking can be a factor.
New Orleans leading by 6. To the inside, Gibson with the steal. Shoots from the elbow. No good off the back of the rim. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Zhang comes in for Karl Anthony Towns, and it's Crawford in for Butler. Clark, he's checked in for New Orleans. Now here's Teague. He has 5. And it's Wiggins missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Wiggins, no good.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
Kicks it to Davis. Passes it to Rondo. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. The 11-footer. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gibson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And Teague has it in the corner. Here's the 3. Great D that time from Davis.
Boy, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Rondo dishes to Clark. Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Bielitz is checked in. Diallo, he's checked in for New Orleans. Darius Miller comes in for Anthony Davis. Teague against Rondo. From about 16, Liggins, no good.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
Zhang with a screen on Rondo. Zhang, a screen. Now here's Crawford. T right on him. Shot clock at 5. Here's Teague. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
No good from Clark. Timberwolves trail by 6. Teague drives in. That one drops for him. Teague's got 7 points in the game.
Well, don't you love how Teague is able to maintain control? He absorbs the hit, finishes through the contact. I tell you, this guy is not shy.
Now Rondo. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. They set the pick. Here's Clark, guarded by Crawford. A floater, and the rejection by Zhang. Outside Teague. And he uses the glass on the layup. 9 points in the game so far.
I'll tell you, how about a high percentage opportunity from Jeff Teague? As a scorer, you love to get those easy ones.
Rondo kicks to Liggins. And Gibson over to help. Miller with a wide open look. And again, no good by New Orleans.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Gibson with the screen on Miller. Crawford drives in. The kick out to Teague. For the tie, he lays it in. Teague's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves.
And just showing you his determination despite the size difference.
I mean, how does he get that shot off? I mean, he had to angle that perfectly to get past the defender.
The Pelicans shooting not great, 40% for the game. Here's Clark. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And just miss after miss right now.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not helping his team. That was an awful quarter.
Rose, he's checked in for Teague. And the Pelicans making a change here as well. Mirotic is checked in for DeAndre Liggins. New Orleans gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Well, with Taj Gibson on the court, you know you're going to get great energy and intensity, and you're going to get it at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, there's no question. The fervor that Gibson plays with on the defensive end, to me, rubs off on his teammates. He never takes a play off. He works endlessly to make life tough for his assignment. This guy is underrated as a defensive force in the NBA.
Now, here's Rose. 7 points in the game, and it's blocked by Mirotic. And stolen by Jang. Here's Bielitsa. Crawford kicks to Jang. Lays it up off the glass. Jang's got the lead up to 2 now for the Timberwolves.
Well, the definition of a high percentage shooter. Terrific touch by Gorgui Jang.
Outside Rondo. Down low. Rebound by Jang. Jang's got his 4th rebound in this one. Crawford passes to Rose. Jang high post. Crawford outside. Over in the corner, Rose. That doesn't go either for Rose. Rose is gone 1 of 4 from distance. And it's Miller penetrating. He kicks it to Clark. Nice D from Crawford.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Yeah, scoring isn't coming naturally to him right now. Looking a little bit uncomfortable out there.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
Patton, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. And New Orleans also making a change. Moore's checked in. There's the pick. They need this one. Tipped away. It's stolen by Rose. And stolen by Miller. And it's Moore penetrating. Good. And Miller gets the assist. Moore's got 9.
Boy, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
And here's Crawford. 7 points in the game. Left side Rose. Back to Crawford. There's the triple. And no good. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
New Orleans gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. On the wing, Miller. For the lead, again, the Pelicans score. Rose with the ball. He's got 9. Pass to Crawford. At the top of the key, Jang. It's Crawford with the drive. It's hauled in by Diallo.
That's just superb interior defense, not allowing him a free run to the rim.
Here's Clark, guarded by Crawford. And that one's good by Clark. Now it's a 4-point Pelican lead. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Bielitsa passes to Patton. And stolen by Mirotic. Moore dishes to Mirotic. Second shot opportunity. Moore with the bucket. Moore's got 4 this quarter.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Rose. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Pass to Miller. Finished off the break. Miller's got 13. And the Timberwolves call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated. I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Jang. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Bielitsa. And it's Jimmy Butler in for Jamal Crawford. New Orleans also making some changes. Cousins comes in for Diallo. And it's Drew Holiday in for Ian Clark. Now here is Holiday. He has 6. Mirotic the screen. And Holiday kicks to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins. Davis is checked in for Miller. Rose in the post. Moore's there. On the wing, Wiggins. Out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. Here's Moore. Here are the Pelicans with the ball. Right now in a 14-0 run. Outside Holiday. There's 25 seconds left in the third. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Pelicans lead by 12.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Outside Rose. Now the pass to Patton. There's the dish to Butler. Misses from short range.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Greg, I think this other team is just in a zone right now. They're clicking on the offensive end, and the defense starting to look frustrated.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
One shot, then when we make a miss, run and run through so we get some spacing. Make the game easy.
You know, guys, we hear a lot of coaches preach all this. Tom Thibodeau wanting defensive rebounding and then faster pace on offense.
Yeah, and that shows you he knows the pulse of his team. He knows that they're not quite energized. Their play rises to a whole nother level when they are.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Patton out there with Towns, and it's Rose in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now here's Butler. Towns, the screen. Shot clock at 6. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
Explosive drive by Jimmy Butler. Defender draped all over him. Forget about it.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Teague's checked in. Free throw no good for Butler. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Here's Teague following the score by New Orleans. Moore with the steal.
Holiday.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Holiday inside the line. That shot off the mark. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Butler passes to Patton. Inside, Towns. Goes back up, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against New Orleans.
We've talked about this guy's ability to get to the free throw line. Towns in incredibly tough cover.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And Towns drops them both. New Orleans leading by 10. Davis sets a screen, and Moore kicks to Liggins. Dishes it to Cousins. To the paint. Charity stripe shot. And it's Davis missing. Minnesota shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Butler on the wing. Holiday with the block. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. And the Pelicans get it back. Cousins, it's deflected. Butler goes in. Patton the pass to Butler. On the wing, Wiggins. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Well, finishing with confidence. Wiggins getting a great understanding for this game.
Moore dishes to Cousins. Davis sets a screen. And Moore kicks to Liggins. Feeds it to Cousins. 6 to shoot. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Cousins has got 25 points.
Just tremendously physical. Cousins not afraid to rearrange some furniture in there.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Timberwolves. And a change for the Pelicans. Rondo's checked in. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. He is not happy with the turnovers. He said, we have got to get some shots. It's as simple as that, guys. Play smart and value the basketball. We'll see if the message sunk in, Kevin.
And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in
with another star like the Brow. But Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with a team who is committed to him.
Free throw good, Wiggins.
Well, getting to the line at will nowadays. Wiggins wanting to improve his free throw percentage.
Good on both.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
And that one's good, Cousins.
And with great players, you've got to pick your poison. You'll live with Cousins shooting from mid-range.
Outside Teague. Towns at the elbow. Tries again, and the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant one foul.
And Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way as much as you just saw him do there.
Take a break.
Glad they pinned a flagrant on it.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. The free throw drops for Towns. And Towns drops them both.
Two shots.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Butler passes to Wiggins. Wants to get it to Butler and does. Jacks up a three. And it's Wiggins missing.
One made three for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see. And you can sense that Rondo taking some pride in shredding the D with his passing. Has exceptional vision.
And the shot goes in. 17 points for Butler.
Oh, he is one hard player to deal with at the offensive end.
Davis setting the pick for Rondo. Screen by Cousins. There's a good screen. To the paint. Towns with the steal. The feed to Gibson for the finish. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Wow, the long reach of Cat. When he grabs for the ball, it's over.
Here's Holiday. He dishes it to Davis. Back to Holiday. Davis with a screen on Butler. Off the pick.
Come on.
And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Rondo dishes to Holiday. Davis sets a screen. Back to Rondo. 6 on the shot clock. And Holiday kicks to Cousins. Here's Towns, and Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
And a wide open look here for Wiggins. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Rondo. He feeds it to Holiday. And Cousins kicks to Holiday. Davis with a screen on Butler. Holiday, the pass to Wiggins. 5 to shoot. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Now here's Wiggins, guarded closely. Wiggins dishes to Davis. Second shot opportunity. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And that one falls for Anthony Davis. Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots, we knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
T kicks to Wiggins. Down low, here's Butler. Pelicans pull it in. Davis has got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place. Rondo kicks to Holiday. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. And it's an 11-point New Orleans lead.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on it.
Three-pointer, Butler. Butler can't get that one to fall. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Holiday, no one around him. And the shot falls short this time. For Minnesota, they've gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Teague, the pass to Gibson. Butler on the wing. Can they get it? And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Derrick Rose is checked in for the Timberwolves. And so Butler nails both of them.
Well, listen, Kev, we know this. Getting to the line has become such a big part of Jimmy Butler's game. I can't help but admire how he has put together a complete package of an NBA game. It's really a thing of beauty.
And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That is his first foul of the game. Gibson with the steal.
Boy, and on a night where he's been so smart handling the ball, that's his first big mistake.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. That one on Davis.
Well, we all understand at this point how difficult it is to corral Jimmy Butler. There's more evidence right there. He draws the foul.
The first one falls. And so Butler nails both of them.
You know, seeing an uptick in his trips to the free throw line, really, since we came out of the half.
Now here's Rondo. Davis sets a screen. Rondo kicks to Cousins. No good from outside.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Well, Taj Gibson, a terrific athlete, easily gets off the floor to finish with authority.
Here's Davis. Second shot opportunity. Great D that time from Gibson. Timberwolves trail by 7. Now Rose. Kicks it to Towns. Back to Rose. Timberwolves passing it around. And the shot goes in. 8 points for Taj Gibson.
Gibson unafraid in a big moment. What a big-time delivery.
Davis setting the pick for Holiday. Passes it to Liggins. There's the screen. Clock at 6. He kicks it to Davis. And the rejection by Towns. Wiggins dishes to Towns. Rose passes to Gibson. It's stolen by Rondo. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Pelicans leading by 5. Screen by Cousins. And Holiday kicks to Rondo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Pass to Cousins. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 16 from the field in the 4th, exactly 50%. Kicks it out to Wiggins. And Wiggins throws it down hard.
A confident young man. Wiggins just answers the bell.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. And Cousins kicks to Rondo. Looking to end his cold spell, and Davis can't get it to go.
After the strong first half, this guy has not been the same, and largely a no-show right here.
And the dunk by Rose.
Kevin, that is unbelievable. One of the best big shot makers this game has ever seen.
New Orleans has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, and Cousins never shy when his team needs a game-changing basket.
Outside Rose. And Gibson kicks to Buck. Pass to Towns. Gibson a screen. Sinks it. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
And he's just putting the team on his back when he's needed most.
Don't you just love to see that confidence when taking these big shots?
Here's Liggins. Towns with the steal. To take the lead. Rose with another miss. And Liggins kicks to Holiday. Rondo against Rose. Here's Liggins. Cousins with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Liggins. Towns with the defensive effort.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside. One of the reasons the scouts loved Wiggins, he always finds a way to deliver in big-time moments.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're trailing by 1. 11 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
You'd think they want to do everything they can to get it to their hot hand.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. "11 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2.
Well, there's so much value in how Jeff Teague runs an offense. He's got great speed. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. I think any organization would be lucky to have this guy.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a three-point attempt.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They trail by 3. 8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And right now, you can go for the 2 and then a quick foul or go for the home run.
Well, you've got to be smart regardless of what you choose to do. You shouldn't just heave the 3 if it's not there. Let's see what happens.
And Cousins kicks to Liggins. Holiday with the 3. Can't knock in the 3.
And a really smart defender there. He just reads the play, wastes no time trying to blow it up.
Almost like he was anticipating the play call, right? You love the hustle.
So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close one. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You got to love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's going to happen. How is this thing going to play out?
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, how confident are you that you guys can build on this win and keep the momentum going?
Very confident. Like I said, we got a great group of guys. We play together, play hard. We can win.
I know you'll like to keep that going as we go on in the season. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.